Donald Trump feels strongly that it would be highly beneficial for the Canadian people to become the 51st state of the United States. If they were part of the U.S., they wouldn't be paying these tariffs and would enjoy much lower taxes. However, no further purchases of U.S. alcohol or new VTs will be permitted through the AGLC until further notice. Canadians are responding to Trump's tariffs by supporting their own industries, opting to drink more British Columbia wine and Alberta craft beer and spirits instead. It is fair to say that Canadians aren't taking Trump's tariffs lightly. They are targeting the multi-billion-dollar American alcohol industry. The Canadian government is taking measures to support local businesses by directing grocers and other retailers to label all Canadian products in their stores. Retailers are also encouraged to voluntarily purchase stock from vendors in Alberta, Canada, or from countries that uphold free trade agreements with Canada. Additionally, a substantial advertising campaign will be launched to assist Albertans in easily accessing information about product origins on store shelves. To further assist consumers, at least 4 apps have been developed in recent months to help Albertans determine which products are Canadian-made. Furthermore, the government will enter into free trade and labor mobility agreements with any province willing to do so, aiming for unrestricted trade and the free movement of Canadian workers across provinces. This strategic move is meant to strengthen Canada's internal trade networks, reducing reliance on the U.S. and mitigating potential economic harm caused by the trade war. Canada also has a significant advantage in this trade conflict with the United States: its vast energy reserves. Alberta possesses one of the largest deposits of oil and natural gas in the world, far surpassing the quickly declining reserves in the U.S. Whether the American president admits it or not, the United States heavily relies on Canadian oil and gas. As U.S. domestic reserves continue to dwindle, their dependence on Canadian energy will only increase. The U.S. imports millions of barrels of oil from Canada every day, and any disruption in this supply would significantly affect American industries and consumers. Trump's tariff war has created chaos, making it difficult to keep track of the situation. This unpredictability is a major concern for investors, contributing to a decline in the stock market. Investors dislike uncertainty, and Trump's erratic decision-making is affecting the economy. Many Americans with 401k retirement plans are now uncertain about their financial futures, as Trump's actions threaten their savings. The economic turmoil extends beyond Wall Street, affecting everyday American businesses that rely on stable trade relationships with Canada. Currently, Trump's trade war has led Canada to impose $30 billion in tariffs on American products, including orange juice, peanut butter, coffee, appliances, footwear, cosmetics, motorcycles, and paper products. When Trump announced additional tariffs, Canada responded by planning tariffs on electric vehicles, trucks, steel, dairy, beef, pork, fruits, and vegetables. These measures would have had a significant impact on the U.S. auto industry, particularly Tesla. After facing strong opposition, Trump decided to pause these tariffs to avoid potential damage to the industry. However, Canada remains firm on its initial $30 billion in retaliatory tariffs, recognizing that Trump's unpredictable trade policies necessitate strong defensive measures. After a meeting with Trump, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau described it as colorful but productive. However, Canada no longer plans to base its trade policies on Trump's unpredictable decisions. They are also planning to increase the cost of electricity exports to the U.S. by 25%, affecting 1.5 million Americans in states like Minnesota, New York, and Michigan. This increase will impact American consumers, especially during extreme weather conditions when electricity demand is high. The added cost will be a burden on working-class Americans, increasing household expenses for essential utilities. The media has reported that Trump's actions are creating uncertainty and chaos, harming both the Canadian and American economies. These tariffs negatively impact American companies, workers, and families. The uncertainty surrounding Trump's trade policies is causing significant economic instability. Canada remains firm in its stance, refusing to yield to threats or unpredictable tariff policies. The message from Canadian leaders is clear: they will not back down until these threats are removed. In response to the trade war, Canada is not only imposing retaliatory tariffs but also removing certain American products from store shelves, specifically U.S.-made alcohol. The Liquor Control Board of Ontario, one of the world's largest alcohol buyers, removed U.S. drinks from its shelves on Tuesday. This board sells approximately $1 billion worth of U.S. alcohol annually, meaning American alcohol manufacturers are losing a significant revenue stream due to Trump's policies. The economic impact of this decision extends beyond liquor producers, affecting supply chains, distributors, and businesses dependent on cross-border alcohol trade. As a result of Trump's trade war, Canada is not only increasing tariffs but also making it easier for consumers to avoid purchasing American goods. At least 4 apps have been developed to help Canadians identify American-made products so they can consciously choose alternatives. The economic conflict with Canada is unnecessary, yet it continues due to Trump's actions. Instead of fostering cooperation, his administration has chosen an aggressive stance, which is proving counterproductive for American businesses and consumers. Perhaps Americans should consider developing an app that identifies companies that donated to Trump's inauguration and re-election fund, so consumers can avoid supporting them. Canadians are already taking proactive steps to resist Trump's policies, ensuring their money does not contribute to his trade war. Meanwhile, a majority of Americans recognize that these tariffs will increase costs, which is why the administration has had to walk them back. The consequences of these trade policies extend beyond immediate price increases. They threaten long-term economic stability for industries that rely on consistent trade with Canada. In the end, Trump's tariffs are proving to be detrimental. While he insists they benefit the American economy, the reality is quite the opposite. Even major figures in the business world, like Howard Lutnick and Scott Bessent, are beginning to acknowledge the negative consequences. These tariffs could bankrupt companies, hurt workers, and ultimately damage the American economy. The trade war with Canada is not a winning strategy, rather, it is a self-inflicted wound that puts American businesses and consumers at risk.